Welcome to Stuff That We Like / Enjoy, at least at this point in time. I'm Caleb.
And I'm Christina.
And today we're doing something. We're doing a little flashback to how we used to do this podcast. We're just doing two topics that we chose that we're interested in. Taking a break from the Book of Enoch. We've been traveling a ton.
Yes, just got back from our third trip in like a 4-week time span.
Yeah, and we can say that now because one of those trips was to surprise a friend who listens to the podcast, so we couldn't say anything online about it, but that's why we had a minute. So that's why we had another episode that was kind of just a topic.
The listener question episode. Because we had to film it real quick and then drive up to Michigan 14 hours for the surprise.
For another shoot and a surprise. And so a bunch of crazy stuff. But we're finally home after a shoot. We just got back 2 hours ago from another trip out of town. So we'll be resuming our Enoch episodes next week. So we look forward to getting back to that. But we still wanted to give you guys an episode today. So we scrounged up our interests. Yeah. And here we are. Scrounging our interests.
Yeah. So Caleb, would you like to begin by telling me what is something that you like / enjoy, at least this point in time?
Sure. Right after you tell me your contentment level today.
Oh, contentment? Oh, I'm pretty good. I would say currently a 7, but I'm anticipating an 8 pretty soon.
Good for you.
I'm really hungry, but I just ate a banana. So I'm expecting those calories to kick in pretty soon.
That's awesome. I love that you're expected to be better.
Yes.
And that's not my viewpoint on life at all, but I love that. So 7.
It's only getting worse.
Yeah.
This is the best it'll ever get.
7 going to an 8. Do you hope?
Yes.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. What about you?
I am a 7. Yeah. Feels good.
That's like the highest you've ever been.
I know today's been a good day. I think my perspective has been better recently on life. And plus we just got a bunch of these jobs out of the way, a bunch of the traveling out of the way. So we're settling into a routine.
Yep. You start a new job tomorrow.
Yep, exactly. And so it's going to feel good to finally come home and be like, oh my God, I don't have to plan a trip.
Yeah.
After work, or I can just sit here and relax for a minute.
Exactly. Don't have to be in Iowa filming a wedding for hours. Yeah.
Totally. So that's why I'm a 7.
Cool. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Great. Well, now I'm going to ask you, what is something that you like or enjoy, at least at this point in time?
Okay. So something I like / enjoy, and I'm sure you've heard of this and you're very familiar with it. So just bear with me in my ignorance.
Okay.
My topic is the 1972 Bloody Sunday Massacre.
Oh my gosh.
I know, your favorite.
How completely random. Why? I never expected this of you. Are you me? Do we trade places?
Do you know what it is?
Once you start talking about it, I will.
Yeah.
But I couldn't tell you right now.
Yeah, I was mostly joking about you knowing what it was about. So you don't have no pressure to know what it's about.
I've heard of Bloody Sunday.
Yeah.
The massacre, but I couldn't tell you if it was Christians, the Jews, Africa, Europe.
Yeah. You just know it was on Sunday.
Yes.
And it was bloody.
So probably it wasn't Jewish then. It was probably Christian or Catholic.
You're very, very close, but for no reason that you just named.
Okay, great.
Okay.
Well, tell me about the Bloody Sunday Massacre of what, 1970 something?
It would be my pleasure. Okay. So, the Bloody Sunday Massacre in 1972 is one of the most infamous and tragic days in Northern Ireland's history.
Okay, Ireland.
Mm-hmm. Northern Ireland. On January 30th, 1972, in the city of Derry, also known as Londonderry, British soldiers shot 26 unarmed civilians during a peaceful protest march against internment without trial. So
being imprisoned without trial?
Yes.
Okay.
And so I'll explain a little bit about that. We'll actually get into that a little bit, which is interesting. So 14 people died, and many of them were actually young men. Wow. They're all unarmed, and 26 were, injured in the process. 14 of those died, though.
Wow.
So a little bit more about the history of this topic. To understand Bloody Sunday, we need to look at the Troubles.
Okay.
It's a decades-long conflict in Northern Ireland from the late 1960s to 1998 involving political and sectarian divisions between mainly Protestant Unionists / Loyalists, yes, who wanted Northern Ireland to remain part of the United Kingdom, and the mainly Catholic Nationalists / Republicans who wanted Northern Ireland to join the Republic of Ireland.
Okay.
So just to clarify again, there were on one side Protestant Unionists / Loyalists, and on the other side there were Catholic Nationalists / Republicans. Okay, so the Civil Rights Movement in the 1960s, inspired by the U.S. Civil Rights Movement, Northern Ireland's Catholic minority began peaceful protests demanding equal rights in voting, housing, and employment. So this is the Catholics in 1960 demanding equal rights in voting, housing, and employment.
So there must have been some discrimination against the Catholics then?
Yes.
Okay.
There was discrimination against the Catholics. And I have here a little bit about that. So the partition of Ireland in 1921, Ireland gained independence from Britain. So Northern Ireland, mainly Protestant, remained part of the UK. Catholics there became a marginalized minority, facing systematic discrimination in housing, jobs, and voting rights. So the Civil Rights Movement in the 1960s, inspired by the U.S. Civil Rights Movement, like I said, is where Catholics began peaceful protests demanding equal rights. The Northern Ireland Civil Rights Association, so the NICRA, was at the forefront of this, organizing marches and sit-ins. So the Unionist response to this was that many Protestants and Unionists viewed the Civil Rights Movement as a cover for Irish nationalism and feared it would threaten Northern Ireland's status as part of the UK.
So they wanted to stay in the UK.
Yes.
And the Catholic Irish wanted to leave and become part of broader Ireland.
Correct.
I always wondered why Northern Ireland was a part of the UK. And
right.
Ireland wasn't.
Yeah. Seems the Protestants really fought for it.
Yeah.
They wanted that. Okay, so that happened in the 1960s. They began peaceful protests in 1971 began internment without trial. So in August 1971, the British government introduced a policy allowing authorities to arrest and detain people suspected of paramilitary involvement without trial. So if you were suspected to be part of the paramilitary involvement, you could be taken into custody without trial.
Okay, so suspected of kind of being against the government.
Yes, basically. This angered the Catholic nationalist community and led to increased peaceful protests. So still peaceful, still protesting. And then on January 30th of 1972, thousands joined a peaceful march in Derry to protest internment.
Okay.
The British Army's parachute regiment was deployed to maintain order. Tensions escalated and soldiers opened fire on unarmed civilians. Many victims were shot in the back or while trying to help the wounded. So a couple facts about the topic. The number of victims, like I said, was 26 people shot, 14 killed. So 13 of those died on the day and one later from injury.
Wow.
They were all unarmed. So none of the victims were armed. Some were teenagers, like I said. There was a huge global impact from this. So Bloody Sunday was broadcast worldwide, fueling outrage and increasing recruitment for, this is really interesting, the IRA, the Irish Republican Army. So crazy.
Interesting.
And I've only heard of that.
Yeah.
I'm not a history buff.
Yeah.
I've only heard of that because of Peaky Blinders, the show.
I'd watched a documentary about a month ago talking about people joining the IRA, and there was a mention of, I believe, Bloody Sunday. So there was that connection there.
I knew you would know what it was.
There we go.
I knew it.
Just a little bit. Well, I'm sure the Catholic Church, it probably felt like a direct attack on the Catholic Church as well, which is like the broadest denomination of Christianity in the world. So I'm sure that there was lots of uproar as a result of that as well.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. This ensued the legal battles.
Okay.
that continued until 2010. So for decades, victims' families campaigned for justice. The 2010 Seville, I don't know how to say that, Seville inquiry concluded the killings were, quote, unjustified and unjustifiable, leading to a formal apology by the British Prime Minister David Cameron. So sorry we killed you guys.
Yeah. He probably wasn't even prime minister at the time.
Exactly. So, of course, this event, it deepened the mistrust between the Catholic community and the British authorities, and this prolonged the, quote, troubles time for decades more. So it's just a really interesting kind of massacre that I heard of in passing. Yeah. I think it was on a podcast too. Or maybe it was through a news outlet. It was just like recapping the 2010 apologies for the Bloody Sunday massacre.
Wow.
And I was like, what is that? Yeah. And so looking into it is so interesting to see that there was a Catholic side and a Protestant side. And it wasn't necessarily that they were, different religions. It was that they were different political parties.
Yes.
Hidden
it became politicized within the religion.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I did know that Ireland is largely Catholic, where obviously England, the British Empire, is Protestant. So that's interesting how, when religion becomes politicized.
Yeah. Isn't that crazy?
Huh.
Oh. So, I mean, that's basically all I have.
Wow, what was your takeaway from
I mean, my takeaway was that a lot of the time, or not a lot of the time, but just like I was describing, we hide behind our religious affiliation rather than just saying, I align myself as a Republican or a Democrat. Right. And this is just such an interesting instance of that. I for sure would have just stood up and been like, hey, I just want to be able to vote.
Yeah, they weren't allowed to vote because they were Catholic. Yeah, how interesting.
Exactly. So I thought that was really just interesting to see.
Fascinating.
And so it's a crazy time in history that I was not aware of.
Yeah, me either. Well, it's amazing how much, history at large we don't know. We mainly in school study American history and then world history in terms of like big empires or big wars, where this was just, a one day kind of situation. But there is so much to learn. It'd be interesting to see or look into what was the spillover, the effect of that for beyond what you mentioned for the Protestant church or the Catholic church or Ireland as a whole.
Totally. Yeah. Like the actual organizations that are trying to care about people.
Yeah.
Not necessarily caring about where Ireland's going to end up, but just trying to like be the hands and feet of Jesus.
Yeah.
It's like, what was the actual impact on those people because of what was happening politically? Super crazy.
And how much it maybe drove increased hate from Catholics towards Protestants or towards the British Empire, things like that.
Totally. Yeah.
Wow.
So really cool, but not as lighthearted as our topics typically are, but something that just fascinated me.
Yeah, I love that. Cool. Well, thanks for sharing.